Hello, everyone. Welcome to this mini teaching series of Learning with Compliance Expert. The Learning with Compliance Expert is born from the passion of sharing quality knowledge gained over time from experience in working with quality management systems and ISO standards. The aim is to simplify it and make it relatable to every listener despite your industrial niche. My name is Comfort Uzwem and I will be your guide on this quality compliance journey. I have dealt with thousands of customers over the years in helping them to implement their quality management systems according to ISO standard. I am passionate about quality overall and helping businesses improve their processes without breaking the bank. So today we'll be looking at part 1 of 4 teaching series, and the topic is restarting a stalled quality management system, or what we also refer to as QMS. Does it feel like your QMS is stuck in the mud and you are not sure on how to navigate your way out of it? Your once beautiful arranged processes now seems to be like scattered puzzle pieces across the floor. This can be very frustrating, and I understand. This teaching series every Friday of this month is aimed at helping you breathe life into your QMS and keep you always audit ready. Let's talk QMS. Not the boring bureaucratic definition that you have heard 1,000 times. Let's talk about what it is practically and what it really means for your business. You see, QMS isn't just a system. It is the lifeblood of your operations. It is your business heartbeat. It is the rhythm that keeps your business dancing to the beat of customer satisfaction. It is the compass that guides you through the stormy seas of competition, especially when navigating a blue ocean business strategy. Now think of it this way. Your business is a high-performance sports car. QMS is the engine that powers it. Without a finely tuned engine, even the slickest, the most aesthetic design is useless. A robust QMS isn't about ticking boxes to meet audit standards. It's about creating a culture of excellence. It's about empowering your team to deliver exceptional results every time. It's about turning challenges into opportunities. So let's stop seeing QMS as a burden and start seeing it as a catalyst for growth. It's time to redefine your QMS. It's time to make it the heart of your business, because when you redefine your QMS in this way, you have redefined your business success. The stalled QMS is a silent killer. Now, imagine a car with a sputtering engine. It is still running, but it's not going anywhere. That is your QMS right now. It is stalled. It is consuming resources, but delivering very little value. According to the American Society for Quality, a staggering 40% of companies experience rework due to quality issues, and this leads to increased costs and decreased efficiency. This statistics highlights the significant financial and operational impact of a stalled and ineffective QMS. When quality control processes are not robust, organizations often face the costly consequences of errors, and these include increased production costs, high scrap rates, customer returns and refund, loss of customer trust and loyalty, and damage to your brand reputation. And we know how difficult it is to build a brand. Statistics don't lie. These are not just numbers, they are the silent killers of your business. I have seen firsthand companies trapped in a cycle of endless audits, corrective actions, bogus procedures, with no real improvement. The QMS was transformed into a bureaucratic monster instead of a business enabler. These processes go on with no meaningful, measurable impact. A truckload of documents in their document management system that are not relevant to their business functions. Some companies just go on the internet, download what they think is a good fit for their QMS without thinking about making it tailor fit to suit their organization needs. So they get buried in paperwork that are not practical. And because this paperwork isn't practical, it becomes tedious to manage because what they are doing in actual sense is forging information and records. The aim of this teaching series is to help organizations escape the QMS quagmire and transform their stalled systems into high-performing engines for growth. Your QMS doesn't have to be a burden. It can be your competitive advantage. There is a path forward, a way to reignite your QMS and breathe life into it. There is a way to turn it from a cost center into a profit generator. And what is this way? The way forward is by watching this teaching series to the end. I'm talking about all 4 parts of this series. Implement the action calls and watch your stored system turn into a high-speed success story. And I kid you not, these processes have been tested and proven over time because, let's face it, many QMS systems have become more of a burden than a benefit. They are bogged down with paperwork, filled with redundant processes, and offer little value beyond compliance and just being a certificate holder. But what if your QMS could be like a bird, light, agile, and propelling you forward? Imagine a system that not only meets compliance, but it drives innovation, it improves your efficiency, and it enhances your customer satisfaction. I have seen it happen because companies that were once trapped in a QMS quagmire transform their systems into powerful engines of growth by streamlining their processes, by leveraging on technology. See, if you can automate your processes with software, please do so. There is no award for hard labor. The goal is to work smart and finally empowering your employees. This has led these companies to soar to new heights, and we will discuss this in details in the follow-up part of this teaching series. The bottom line of this part 1 series is to let you know that your QMS shouldn't be a weight holding you down. Rather, it should be a wing carrying you to new horizons. Learn with me and understand the principles of turning your QMS boulder into a soaring bird. Now, what are the common signs of a stalled QMS? How do you know that your QMS is stalled? Now, just like your car dashboard showing you all red lights, the QMS has its red lights too. Now, every day you go to work, you wake up to the same routine, the same task, the same challenges, work processes are stuck in the same loop. Your QMS is now feeling a little too familiar. There are no real results from a measurable objective. It might just be time to wake up and smell the coffee, or in this case, your process inefficiency. Based on my audit experience, here are some signs to show that your QMS is stuck in a rut. The first is what I call deja vu of documents. That is endless revisions without real improvement. Your business is not showing any sign of continuous improvement. Some companies just like the numbers. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, with no measurable significant change. It's called deja vu of documents, or I call it deja vu of documents. Another sign is audit anxiety, when you live in constant fear of the next audit. It may not even be an external audit, it could be an internal audit, but you are in constant anxiety when you hear the word audit. It shows that your QMS is stuck in the rut. Another sign is decreased customer satisfaction, and that is a reoccurring theme of customer complaints in your feedback. That's a sign that your QMS is stuck in the rut. Another sign is what I call process paralysis. Now, some companies just go on with overly complex procedures that slows them down. A process that should take 2 personnel now takes over 5 personnel to achieve. And because of that, a process duration that is supposed to be for just 24 hours is now achieved in 5 days or more. That tells you that there is something wrong with that QMS pattern and you need to have it checked. Another symptom is what I call data desert. Lack of meaningful, measurable insight in your system. No records, no measurable objective, no archive, nothing. No forms, just no record at all. But you say you are doing these things, but there is nothing to show that these things, these processes, these work instructions are being carried out. It's what I call a data desert. Another symptom is when you miss deadlines. You miss deadlines for everything. You miss deadlines for your supplies. You miss deadlines for your contractual agreements. You miss deadlines for your account payables. It's a sign that there is something wrong with your QMS. And the last symptom I'm going to consider here is, and this is more common with manufacturing industries, is increased defects in final production. That shows you that there is something wrong with your QMS, because your QMS is supposed to have your plan, do, check, act of everything, every processes that happens in your organization. So when you start having increased defects in final production, it means that something is wrong. Now, if these symptoms sound familiar, your QMS might be in need of a serious reboot. It may be in need of this teaching. It's time to break free from this circle and unlock the true potential of your quality management system. Learn with me and let's work together to transform your QMS from a mundane routine to a dynamic driver of success. By identifying the root cause of these stalls, you will break free from the chains of a stalled QMS. Let us unmask the possible villains that could be sabotaging your QMS. And it's what I call root cause analysis. What is quality without root cause analysis? The way root cause analysis works is we need to find the causative agent first before prescribing the required medication. We don't assume. We don't take desktop pharmaceutical drug just simply because the symptoms are familiar. We delve deeper with tests and questions to understand first before taking treatment. Now, you imagine your QMS, again, as a complex machine. When something goes wrong, you first find the faulty gear before replacing the whole engine. You don't just go and let me change the engine. You always want to find out what is that thing, which part is missing, what is going wrong, which part is faulty. And then if you've checked everything and you see that, okay, this requires an overhaul, this requires a total replacement, before you go ahead to replace. That's the same thing with the QMS. You first conduct what we call root cause analysis. And our mission is to find out the 5 whys behind the problem, not just the what behind the problem. So the questions you're asking is, why is this in this manner? Why is this happening? Not what happened. I don't know if it's clear, but I will delve into that in the second part of this teaching series. We ask the 5 whys behind the problem, not just the what statement behind the problem. And then we also use the fishbone diagram or Pareto analysis as our detective tools where necessary. By asking that why 5 times, if you get your answer before it gets to 5, that is fine. But 5 is usually like a yardstick to measure, because we want to peel back the layers of the problem, just like as you peel the onions, and make sure that you have left no stone unturned. And then the fishbone diagram helps you to visualize potential causes, while the Pareto analysis reveals the vital few issues causing the majority of the problem. Now, if I pull out my detective book based on my audit experience, the truth is most QMS breakdowns aren't caused by technical glitches. No, they're often rooted in human and process challenges. Now, let's examine these culprits that are usually the common reasons for restored QMS. And the first is lack of leadership support. Imagine a race car without a pit crew. That's a QMS without leadership backing. Leaders are the fuel that ignites the quality engine. There is no quality without leadership cooperation. Another common reason for a stall is outdated processes. A QMS is like a roadmap. If the map is outdated, you will end up in the wrong place. Outdated processes are like detours that waste time and resources. So it's time to update your GPS for your QMS. If the processes and the ways of doing things have changed, please do not only change the number, the revision number, also change the content. It helps the efficiency of the process. Another factor is low employee engagement. So QMS is a team sport. It's not something that you can try to do alone. And if your employees aren't invested, the system will underperform. Low engagement is like a flat tire. It slows everything down. You need to empower your employees to be quality champions. Low employee engagement could also be as a result of low morale amongst the employee, which could be as a result of a number of reasons. Top of the list is usually human resource management factor like bullying or a colleague not feeling inclusive in decision making, human factors like that. Another symptom is overcomplicated processes. So your quality management system should be a tool, not a burden. It's not supposed to be packed up with documentations that are not relevant. It's supposed to be a working tool, because when it's a working tool, it becomes practical for use. So you are not sitting down to forge information, you are sitting down to write what you are actually doing. And so it becomes easier. So a QMS should be a tool, not a burden. Overly complex processes are like tangled fishing lines, like they just create bottlenecks and they just frustrate employees. Let's try to simplify and streamline. As a quality manager, let's try to simplify and streamline our processes. Addressing these root causes is like giving your quality management system or your QMS a much needed tune-up. And by providing leadership support, modernizing your processes, very, very important. If your processes can be automated, please take the automated version. There is no reward for hard labor. It just kills time and it slows down processes and it slows down your efficiency. So modernize your process. If you can invest in a document management system that is automated, there is no point having hard copy files and profiles in cabinets. If the process can be done with a software app, please do that. Modernize your process, engage your employees, and simplify your procedures. Use simple English. Use simple language. There is no point quoting procedures in King James Version. Just making it with large vocabulary that one would need to sit down and think, or maybe get a dictionary to understand what you're actually trying to say. Let your procedures be simple. Keep it short and simple. And then you can, when you do this, you are able to transform your QMS from a sluggish machine to a high performance powerhouse. All of these things I'm itemizing now will be discussed in details in our subsequent teaching series. This is like an introduction to what you will expect in this teaching series. Now, when you have identified these root causes, it can feel like you are untangling a band of yarn. It's exhilarating, it's exciting, and that's why you need to carry out a root cause analysis. Otherwise, you'll be rotating in a sport. You are changing what does not need to be changed, because the root cause, what is making it to be inefficient, you have not solved that problem. So you keep solving at the surface level, and at the end of the day, it's like as if you are rotating on the same spot. Now, this brings us to the end of part 1 of 4 of our teaching series. Join me next week, Friday, for the follow-up series of utilizing these informations that you have gotten, especially the root cause analysis of a stored QMS, and see how you can now revitalize and breathe life into your quality management system. Thank you for listening. See you next Friday.